Imagine one day everybody decides to stop paying rent. Not most people. Literally everybody. Every tenant, every roommate, every family just stops. And this isn't temporary. Rent is gone forever. Nobody can pay it ever again. At first, it feels great. Month one feels like a surprise rate. A guy in Dallas keeps $1,400. A couple in Miami keeps $2,500. For a couple of weeks, it actually feels like a win. Then reality kicks in. Landlords still have bills. Most of them owe the bank money every month. So when rent disappears, they're not just losing profit. They're losing the cash they need to pay their loans. By the end of month one, smaller landlords start collapsing. The guy with one duplex, the retired couple renting two homes, they miss payments almost immediately. Month two is where the problem moves from housing problem to economy problem. Banks start getting hit because the landlord cannot pay the bank. And if millions of landlords cannot pay, the bank suddenly has a giant hole in its cash flow. Rent goes to landlord. Landlord pays bank. Bank pays depositors, employees, investors, and makes new loans. Once rent disappears forever, that machine starts coughing like a truck full of sand. So banks react fast. They tighten lending. Mortgages get harder to get. The economy starts slowing down. Month three gets uglier. Landlords start trying to evict people. But here's the problem. If nobody can ever pay rent again, then evictions do not fix anything. Kicking one tenant out does not help when the next tenant also can never pay. It's like trying to fix a leaking boat by changing seats. Courts get flooded anyway. Cities get buried in legal chaos. Some states try to freeze evictions. Others allow them. But either way, the core problem stays the same. Rental housing no longer makes money. It has become a business with permanent zero revenue. That changes everything. By month four, buildings start falling apart. Lights don't get fixed. Leaks sit longer. Elevators break and stay broken. Maintenance slows down because the money behind it is gone. And housing isn't just landlords and tenants. It's connected to construction workers, plumbers, electricians, insurance, banks, city budgets. Once rent disappears forever, all those people get hit too. By month 5 and 6, a lot of landlords are wiped out. Buildings go into foreclosure. That means banks take them over. But banks don't want buildings. They want money. So they try to sell these buildings. But sell them to who? Who wants to buy an apartment building in a country where rent can never be charged again? So building prices collapse hard. And when building prices collapse, cities get punched in the face too. Why? Because cities collect property taxes. If building values crash, tax revenue crashes. That means less money for schools, roads, police, fire departments, and all the boring stuff that people only notice when it gets worse. Around month 7 or 8, new construction almost completely freezes. Developers stop building apartments because the entire business model is dead. Why build a 200-unit building if nobody will ever pay to live there? It would be like opening a restaurant where customers can eat for free forever. Now, a weird thing happens. At first, people thought no rent meant housing became free and easy. But over time, it actually gets worse. Because fewer new homes get built, old ones fall apart, and nobody has a clean reason to maintain them. By the end of year one, the federal government is forced into the mess. This is too big for cities or states to handle. Washington would try emergency programs, maybe direct support for housing, maybe government takeovers, maybe giant bailouts for banks, maybe public housing expansion on a scale America has never seen before. Because if the government does nothing, the housing market does not just shrink, it breaks. And once housing breaks, the economy follows. Construction jobs disappear, banks take losses, cities cut services, businesses slow down, unemployment rises, the country slides into a deep recession. By year 2, America would have to start inventing a new housing system entirely because the old one was built on rent existing. If rent is permanently impossible, then the country has to choose between mass chaos and a totally different model. Maybe bigger government-owned housing, maybe massive tax-funded housing program, maybe forced conversions from rental property into something else. But none of that would be clean. None of it would be fast, and all of it would be expensive as hell. That's the brutal truth. If nobody can ever pay rent again, this is not just landlords lose money. This is one of the biggest pillars of the economy getting its legs snapped. At first it feels like freedom, then it turns into a problem, then into a crisis, then a full system reset.